So today we're going to do something pretty cool. We're going to watch a simple idea turn into a real, profitable app, but not with a whole team of developers. Oh no, we're going to do it with the world's first AI software engineer, Devin. Let's see how this actually works.
But first, let's kick things off with a number. A number that should honestly stop every single entrepreneur dead in their tracks. 90%. It's a huge, kind of scary figure. So what does it represent?
Well, that's the percentage of startups that ultimately fail. And after seeing this happen for years, it's become so clear that there is one core problem, one mistake that gets made over and over and over again.
And here it is. It's this simple. Founders get so wrapped up in the excitement of building their idea that they completely skip the most critical step of all, validation. They build things nobody actually wants because they never stopped to ask.
So, how about we try to fix that? For this explainer, we're going to build an app designed to solve that exact problem. We'll call it Validation X, and its whole purpose is to fight back against that 90% failure rate by tackling the validation problem head on.
The concept is actually pretty simple, but powerful. You just type in your startup idea, and this tool scours the internet, digging up real-world data that either proves or disproves your biggest assumptions. And even better, it gives you actual advice to make your idea stronger. Now, how are we going to build this thing? Well, we're not hiring a team. We're using our AI engineer. This is Devin. And trust me, this is not just another coding assistant. It's a total game changer. And this slide really nails the difference. See, on the left, you have your typical AI tools. They're code assistants. They help the human who's coding. But on the right, you have Devin, an autonomous software engineer. You're not the coder anymore. You're the one giving the directions. You give it a goal, and it figures out how to get there all by itself.
And these are its superpowers. I mean, it doesn't just write code. It researches the web, it plans out complex engineering tasks, it untangles messy code. And this one is just wild. It can multitask on different projects at the same time. It's basically an entire engineering team in one AI.
All right, let's get to the main event. We are going to watch Devin take our little idea for Validation X and turn it into a real working app, starting with nothing more than a single text prompt.
Okay, so the process itself is just fascinating. It all starts with step one. The user writes a detailed prompt, basically telling the AI to think like a startup strategist. Then, in step two, Devin doesn't just start coding blindly. No, it goes out and researches validation frameworks and even asks follow-up questions to make sure it's on the right track. Only then, in step three, does it actually build the whole app, back-end, front-end, the whole shebang. And the craziest part? Step four, a working product is ready for you to test in less than an hour.
Okay, now this is where things get honestly a little bit mind-blowing. Remember that multitasking superpower we were just talking about? Well, while our Validation X app was being built, it was at the same time in a completely separate window, debugging and documenting a totally different project. Think about that for a second. It's like having two senior engineers working on two different things at once, and neither one slows the other down. Incredible. But, no process is perfect, right? The first version of our app that Devin spat out, well, it had a pretty big flaw. And this is great, because it wasn't a failure. It was a chance to see how humans and AI can really work together. So after testing it out, the feedback was clear. The validation scores were showing up, but the source articles it pulled to back them up, they were totally irrelevant. It was like asking for info on a calorie-counting app and getting results about mobile games. The core search logic was just off. So what's the fix? And this is the key takeaway right here. You don't scrap the whole thing and start over from scratch. Nope. This is where the human steps in, identifies the problem, and gives the AI a better strategy to execute. And this fix is just a perfect example of that human-AI teamwork. First, the user suggests a better tool, recommending the super powerful Perplexity API for research. Next, all the user has to do is provide the API key. And finally, Devin takes that key and does all the heavy lifting, rewriting the code and integrating the new API to fix the search problem, all on its own. And just look at the results. The difference is night and day. The new version delivered a much more accurate 51% validation score, but also links to actually relevant articles, an analysis of the competition, and, this is the most important part, real, actionable advice. Things like, hey, you should narrow your target market, or go interview potential customers. This isn't just data, it's a real strategy. Okay, so thanks to Devin, We have a valuable, working product built in record time. That's incredible. But a product isn't a business, right? Not until it has paying customers. So, with all that time you just saved on development, how do you focus on making money? Well, when you can build an MVP this fast, you can immediately start testing a few proven strategies. First, set up a landing page to build trust and start capturing those leads. Second, do some targeted cold outreach in niche communities to find your first true believers. And third, run small paid ad campaigns, not to get rich, but to get super fast feedback on what message actually connects with people. The faster you learn, the faster you grow. So let's recap. We've gone from a simple idea to a functional app, fixed its flaws, and even outlined a clear path to profitability, all powered by an AI software engineer. The technology is here and it is ready to build. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build?